Hi, it is Maggie from My Thriving Child Coffee Chats, and I'm a pediatric occupational therapist. And again, these chats are to break down an educational tip, trick, some type of activity that will help your child thrive developmentally. So my goal is to do it in 10 minutes or less in respect to your time and to get you that information quickly. So today I'm going to break down different scissor skills activities that you can do in nature with your child. And then on Monday, I'm going to put out a video that goes over more of the scissor developmental progression, benefits, and that sort of thing. So today is focused on activities that you can do in nature with your child to work on those scissor skills, build familiarity, get practice with hand placement and snipping. So I do want to note that you can use just regular kid safety scissors. You can also use scissors that have the spring-loaded feature. So basically they're responsible for closing the scissors and then the scissors pop back open automatically. So it just takes out one of those steps when you think about motor planning and all the steps to execute. If they have one less step, it can kind of help them be successful with the activity and be more engaged and then build on that skill. So once they get that part, then you can go and with a lot of those scissors, you can just flip off the spring-loaded feature. So just wanted to note that, and we will go into the different nature activities. So one of them being to use scissors to snip the grass. So I like this one because it can be a little bit more of a challenge due to having to orient the scissors to the grass. So if you think about it, when you're coming up to the grass, it's a horizontal surface. So they're having to work on figuring out, how do I position my body and my hand to orient my scissors horizontally to cut the grass. So that can be a good one to build in that skill as well. And of course you can grade it and pull up a piece of grass for them and have them snip the piece of grass. And you can even have them try to hold it with one hand and snip with the other. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. The easiest would be if you're holding it and they're snipping the piece of grass. And then harder options would be if they're holding a piece of grass and snipping it, or trying to orient to the ground and snipping. So that's a really good one to work on, and again, it's outside and that makes it a bit more fun. The next one would be twigs or sticks, and so I want to just put out the note that obviously kid scissors are more blunt, so you want to find thinner twigs or sticks when working on snipping so that they can be successful and actually cut through the twig or stick. But this one's really good because they're, again, having to work on those bilateral skills, so holding the stick and then snipping with the other hand. So one hand stabilizing, one hand's manipulating, which we do that with a lot of tasks in life. And so it's a good skill that can generalize to other things. And yeah, so you can obviously hold it for them too if you want to grade it as well. So that's another good one. And I should note too, all of these are really great for cause and effect because they see one object and then they snip through it and then there's two. So that's just another skill that all these nature scissors activities work on. So a third one is leaves or flowers. So of course, need to get your permission first before they, are snipping any flowers or leaves in the back. And of course, you're going to be with them supervising. But this can be a good way to do it so that they're having to orient their scissors to a vertical object. So if the plant, is vertical, they're having to come up and snip it vertically versus when they were snipping with the scissors in the grass, that was a horizontal. So again, it's manipulating different positions that they're having to hold their scissors and working on them, learning how to process and figure that out, and where does my body go, where does my hand need to be, how can I effectively snip through this. So I like that one because again, there's just various ways to challenge the orientation that sometimes we don't think about having to do. And so that's a good one for that as well. And then lastly, kind of combining them all, an outdoor scavenger hunt. So again, this gets your child moving. You can work on recognition of different things outside in nature, so sticks, leaves, flowers, things like that. And then you can also even work on like color categorization too, so you can, say we're going to only look for pink flowers or something like that. So there's a lot of ways that you can, again, build in some other skills with this. And I like it, again, because they are working on scissor use, moving around outside, and getting a lot of good practice in a fun way that doesn't even feel like work, as opposed to if you think about just putting a piece of paper in front of them and having them practice snipping, that's not as engaging and fun. And then of course, I like to have kids get outside as much as possible. So if they can work on this in a more outdoors environment, why not? So again, kind of getting them familiar with different ways to orient the scissors, how to place their hands and cut different things. And those are just some fun ways to do that outside. So on Monday, I'll go over again that scissor developmental progression and the basics of that and benefits of working on these skills. So thank you for joining me for the My Thriving Child Coffee Chat, and I will talk to you on Monday.